Hey, this is Nanette from Rock and Realty, and I just thought I'd start making some videos. I don't have any like technical editing software or even knowledge of any kind. So I had that kind of thought where I would just start talking and filming them and see what happens, and probably learn not to do things like that when I'm filming, but oh well. And I also thought I'd have like a topic, kind of like a Q&A, except there's no Q because I'm just making a video by myself, but trying to anticipate what kind of questions people might ask regarding real estate. So today's topic is about how to not insure, because I can't promise that, but how to better put the best foot forward when you are making an offer on a house in a competitive market. I live in Austin, Texas, and the Austin real estate market is pretty crazy right now, very active, and there's always a lot of buyers vying for one house, and it ends up in multiple offers, sometimes upwards of 10, 13, 15, even 17 offers, going way over asking. And it's very difficult and discouraging for many buyers to miss out a lot on properties. And it's hard as a realtor to do your best job, and you don't want to disappoint your clients, and it can just be difficult. And it's hard for the sellers too, even though they're the ones kind of getting a lot of offers. It's a stressful choice. But I wanted to talk about the buyer perspective and just some tips that you can do going forward that may help. So my number one tip is to kind of expand your expectations and your horizons and your criteria from your ideal house. And I know that's really hard because everyone has an idea of what they want. You might have a list of all your must-haves, and your vision. Maybe you've seen a lot of beautiful houses on TV or your friends' houses or what have you. Or you have a part of town. And of course you have a budget. And so you might have all these things you want, and the neighborhood you want, and the price you want. And when a market is competitive like this, there's got to be some things that give and that go. And so just sort of setting your expectations at a reasonable level and really soul searching as to areas where you can change and let that kind of relax a little bit. Maybe you can put a little money away or do some DIY to fix something that's not your thing, or change floors, or maybe you could really look into some other neighborhoods, talk to people that live in those neighborhoods, go drive around, see how the commute is, see if you think that's something that you could, change. You might need to spend a little bit more. If that's not possible, of course, then it's not possible. Style of house, just realize that you can make your home no matter where it is and no matter what it looks like to begin with. So that is really my number one tip, is just really kind of expanding your horizons and letting go of a lot of expectations, and knowing that you'll end up in the best place and it'll be your home. And then the second thing is a little getting into the more technical realm, things like not having any contingency. And when I say contingency, I don't mean the condition and inspections and stuff like that. We'll talk about that next. I mean having to sell a home before buying a home, making a contingent offer, an offer that is contingent on you selling your home. When it's competitive, that is pretty much not going to fly with a seller. They don't want the risk of anything going wrong in the domino effect of house selling and buying. If your house sell falls through, then your house buy falls through, and then they're out of luck. So that's just not going to work. So if there's a way that you can buy a house without having to sell your house, or if you can sell your house and find someplace to live or figure out something. Sometimes you'd be surprised if you can buy your house without selling your current house. Go ahead and see if you're qualified for that. And then when your house does sell, you can take your profits from that and put some down on your mortgage, and or do a little bit of investing in some updating if you've had to let go of that in point number one. Okay. And then point number 3 is just really a bunch of things kind of in the contract that you and your agent can talk about and do. We talked about the inspection report. The option times, the option periods can be different lengths of time. And it's very common here in Texas to have like a 7 to 10 day option. When you're being competitive, it's really nice if you can offer just a really short one, like 5 days. I know it's scary to only have those many days to get an inspection and figure stuff out, but it's probably really worth it. And have your agent or you line up inspectors as you make the offer to know that they'll be available on that first day if your offer gets accepted, and you can figure everything out. Another thing in the option is to offer a higher option fee, as high as you are willing to risk giving up. Because the seller will see that if you put more in option fee, the more you're going to lose, the less likely you're going to back out over trivial things. So that's another great tip. Also within the contract is a higher earnest money, maybe 2 or 3% of the sales price rather than the standard 1 that we do in Texas. Another great tip, I'll just make this number 4, is see if your lender will go ahead and call the listing agent and talk to them and just give them that peace of mind that you're a great buyer, a solid buyer. My preferred lenders like to do that, help their clients and my clients. Oh, and this is going to be my last tip just because the video is already longer than I wanted it to be. But the personal letter. A lot of agents don't like that or think it's kind of pointless. And of course, if a seller doesn't really have an emotional feeling about this, then the letter's not going to help, but it's not going to hurt. And many sellers really, really do have an emotional connection to their house and a feeling about who they want to live there afterwards. And I've had many instances where a buyer of mine has been chosen because the letter really affected the seller. And as a listing agent, I've had my sellers choose buyers that wrote letters. And so write a heartfelt letter from your heart, truth, about why you fell in love with the house, what you see doing there, what attracted you to it, what, is going to make you happy about living there and all those things. And, it really could help. So that is all my tips. I'm going to write a blog post on this. My website is rockandrealty.net, rocknrelty.net. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.